Okay, we're getting everybody going here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me just got a bunch of autopilots popping in here. Look at this, all these robots. Wow. Okay. Lauren, good to see you. Glad you made it.
Yes, thank you.
Good to see you. Daniel, always good to see you. Couple faces we don't know. Harris is off tackling the bad streets of Houston there. Good man. Love that.
Gotta get the steps in.
You get the steps in, that's it. I always like to say my sexiness doesn't just happen. I've got to work on this. Okay. So I think that, we're probably very similar that way.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're getting everybody in here and it's going to be great. We're going to be talking. It's kind of funny how like these real sad topics brings in a ton of people, it's like, oh, divorce. Wow. Listings. Let's talk about it, but, we're going to get into that in just a couple minutes. I just want to give everybody a little time to get through. And, we have a bunch of people that are actually coming in. So, while we're getting started here, anybody in here specialize in divorce listings? I mean, has anyone here considered themselves, let me rephrase it. Anybody here actually get divorce listings that they actually were able to capitalize on this, for lack of a better word? I, again, say it very carefully. The last thing I want to do is offend anyone, but there are certain realities of life. Death is a reality of life. Bankruptcy is a reality of life, and so is divorce. I mean, things do happen. And as a result, somebody is going to be getting the deal. I'm not an advocate for the negative, but I'm also a realist. And if we could actually create a methodology to understand this, and if you could actually get it, that would be great. So I ask, have any of you dealt with or gotten divorce listings in the past? I'm just curious to see this. Okay, everyone's going to be shy. No one's going to want to talk. Eddie, you deal with any divorces? Eddie Glantz? Muted. He's still muted. Okay. Yeah. Got a couple others here coming in. Danielle is joining us. Mickey's joining us. Okay, so let me just also say this is an interactive meeting. So if you guys want to participate, please please do. Rosina, can I pick on you? Am I saying it, Rosanna? Can you unmute?
You said it correct the first time, Rosina.
Rosina. Okay. First of all, tell everyone who you are and where you are.
I'm in San Antonio, Texas.
Great.
And so I started in 2021 as a second career.
Right.
And then when the rates, I had a great year and a half, and then the rates went to hell. And decided to pivot a little bit. And so now I'm back and I'm trying to find a niche. And the thing of it is finding that niche is, like, yeah, trying to find a needle in a haystack. And that's what I'm looking for right now. So back in 2021, I had a dear friend who had been married forever, and they actually stayed very good friends, but there was a divorce, and so she bought a house and he kept his house, but he refinanced it. So I was able to capitalize, and that's horrible to say that, but I mean, I was able to.
Like I said, I won't judge. It's this whole topic ideally could be very, very bad if we think about it. But on the other hand, if you do a good job for the couple, you're doing a great thing. And I think everyone should try and look at it that way. And you weren't the one that fucked up their marriage.
I didn't cause the divorce. Exactly. I'm just trying to help them both. I did, and I helped them both. Both of them got great rates at the time, though. If the thing is, if that would happen today, I don't know that they would get great rates, but then I'd refinance both couples or both, individuals. I think to your point, there's opportunity with bankruptcies, and there's opportunities with probate, and there's opportunities, so I'm just trying to find that niche where I could get somewhere. So I'm really excited to for this session.
Great. Well, we're excited to have you. And again, it's interesting against calling a divorce niche, but it is. I mean, it is something to focus on. Here's the thing, because of the magic of the internet and because of the magic of various acts of Congress, there's a certain amount of free information that has to be freely available to you. This information has been available for quite some time. It's only recently, extremely recently, that these websites that are run by the county have actually given you that access, where by law, in most states anyway, you're able to see the parties to a lawsuit. By the way, this works with bankruptcy as well. That's for another meeting at another time. But if you take a look now, I could give the most recent example here. I'm in Boca Raton, Florida, and there's too many things on my page here. And we've got the county clerk of Palm Beach County. All of you likely have a site that looks like this. This is, if you want to start taking notes, this is where you should try and take a couple of notes here. There will be a transcript left for the members up on the Rain Nation page, and we'll be able to share all that. But every county, every district has something like this, and in there they've got something called a record search. Okay, so within here you've got your court records, which you'll look up. I always go as a guest. At some point, I'll go and register, but I just like to go in as a guest. And a robot is asking me to prove that I'm not a robot.
Oh my God.
Which is always kind of funny. Now, here's the things that you need to notice. The court type, at least here in Florida, is domestic relations and family. And the case type, where's this? Let me see if I have this right. And the case type, here we go, is dissolution, dissolving, okay? Believe it or not, in some states, there's a difference between a divorce and a dissolution. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what it is. The end result is the two people are broken up. Now, here's another thing that you could put in is you could add all the information that you want, but I add the start of this month, which is 3/1/24, and today's the 13th. Let's take a look if there's any dissolutions going on. And yes, indeed, there are 101 records in Palm Beach County of people that filed for divorce. Great. Ed, what do we do with this information now? Well, on this page, we could download the page results, and it goes into an Excel file. And then, Daniel's going to put this up in just a second, we have a service that we've used called skip tracing. And Daniel, if you don't mind running out and getting that for everyone, if you look in the chat, he's going to put that skip tracer's information. And by the way, I don't know the man. I've used him several times. He's done a very good job. His name's Mohammed. I don't think I've ever even spoken to the guy. He just happens to do a really good job with skip tracing. I will take that file and send it to him and ask him to skip trace it. Who's used the skip tracing before? Terry, did you use the skip tracer? Okay, Eitan, unmute yourself 1 second. Eitan, just tell everyone who you are and where you are.
I'm a realtor in Florida, but I'm currently in Portugal.
Great.
And this is a fake background.
And did you use Mohammed, or was it another skip tracer?
Yeah, I actually used him 3 times, and he's been very useful. However, skip tracing only works in the US.
Okay, so for our international people, do note that. But how accurate? What was the information that came out of that?
70%. Even what I did is I took the remaining unresolved contacts and I gave them to another skip tracer, and he was able to find some of those. So they don't always use the same technology,
Okay.
and they might cross over.
Okay. So that was it. And it was a lot of money, right?
No, it wasn't.
I know that was the leading question. So tell everyone how much how much does the service cost?
I don't remember, maybe $25, maybe $50 for 1,000 people.
Yeah, it's something along those lines. So here's the thing, you
I
know,
even negotiated down. I got like $15 off.
and you got to leave it to you, man. That's just great. Heather, can you unmute yourself a second?
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
Okay,
I'm not ready
you
for
want-
video, sorry.
Yeah, just tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Heather Cooper in Manhattan.
Okay, and you used a skip tracer before?
Yeah, I use Muhammad and I also use this other guy, Chris Kogo, both from Fiber. I mean, it's kind of like a crapshoot, you know, sometimes the numbers are right, sometimes they're not, sometimes the emails are right, same thing. So, I mean,
Sure.
it's certainly helpful and it's not, it doesn't break the bank. So, and you could do a lot at a time, like 100,
I-
200.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
okay, I'm done.
Okay, so you found okay, Eitan, go ahead.
I actually thought that he provided me way too much information. I got 5 emails per person and 5 to 6 numbers, so that you have to sort through it and see which number is actually the good one.
Okay, well, look, the point is the technology is there. Whether you're getting it effectively through him or if you had to drill it down a little bit more, we're going to talk about ways to do that. But let's talk about what we've learned so far. And it's been unbelievably simple. You look up in your community, in your area, what the county court is. It's the family court that you're going to. The topic is dissolution or divorce. It depends upon the area. From there, you're going to actually get the full data of the parties that are getting divorced. You're going to download that data. You're going to send it to somebody. Again, we keep bringing up Mohammed. I wish I had somebody else. I'm not getting any free chickens by recommending this guy, but he does do a very good job. So you're going to send it to somebody to skip trace it. Within a few hours, they're going to send you back a spreadsheet with everyone's name. Great. Now we know all these unfortunate people who are going through a divorce and they have addresses. Let's talk as a group here what to do at that point. Because I find with realtors, we all have great leads. We have great opportunities. We don't always have a great in. And we don't always have a great means of actually bringing up the conversation and actually speaking with these folks. Before I pick on Mark Lawrence or Eddie Glantz or Harris or a couple of my old friends here, does anyone want to have a go at what they would do when you have that little piece of information, when you know that most likely a sale is going to take place? What exactly do you think you would do? I throw that out to anyone again before I pick Mark. Anyone? Okay, Paula, want to tell everyone who you are and where you are? You have to unmute yourself, Paula.
On you. Good morning. How you doing?
Good.
So,
Where are you?
I'm in Queens, New York,
Cool.
up part of Long Island. So I would probably knock on the door.
You would knock on the door. Okay, you're gutsier than me.
Yeah, I'd knock on the door. I get very good results from knocking on the door. People know who I am here pretty much, and I would just have a conversation because, you know, you could send a letter. Sometimes the house, you know, maybe nobody's living there anymore, but I think that if you do have a nice friendly conversation and try to appeal to them in a way that, you know, this is not anything I've ever done, but I do this with FSBOs and expired. They might, you know, take to you a little bit more than just sending a letter, which could go in the garbage.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I think that that's really amazing. Let me ask you this: when you knock on the door, I mean, people may know you and all of this, but that's most of the people here. I'm going to show. Can I pick on you a little bit more, Paul? I'm not going to be mean. I promise. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Just a show of hands. Who would have a really hard time knocking on a door, aside from me? Because all of you have the guy. Okay, we got a few hands here. So Paula, what do you do? Like when you go there, you know, like hey, heard the bad news. Want to list your house?
Well,
mean,
I wouldn't say, hey, I see you going through a divorce. I would say, listen, I'm going around the neighborhood. You may know me from all my advertising. Been doing this 40 years, and here's some information about me if you were thinking of selling. And I come equipped with like a list of things that we do that's above and beyond. And I also use an easy exit listing agreement, so it's not any, I've only used it like once in all these years because I really at that point, wanted to fire the client too. So that gives a little more peace of mind. At least they have something with my name on it. And if they decide to have a conversation, great, or think about it in the future, at least you have something to leave them. So that's just 2 pieces of information on me.
okay. And how many times you get a door slammed in your face?
Never.
Really? Okay. So most of you are pretty, myself included. Well, maybe it's because you're nice. I don't know. I don't know
Well, that's the approach I think you want to take. You want to appeal to them, are you thinking of selling? I wouldn't go in saying, hey, I heard you have a bad situation, and, I would say, do you think, I'm talking to some of the neighbors, this is something I do. I live in the neighborhood. I've had people door knock to me too, and not realizing that I'm an agent, but it's interesting, the conversations that you may have with people and the things that they may be more forthright about than on the phone or in a mail out piece.
Okay. Well, look, again, it's great. So what percentage of your business is actually coming that way?
A little right now because, there's not that many expireds here that are not selling. So the prices have come down. So we've really tried. There's only a few for sale by owners, very few. They do eventually convert, but sometimes they'll have an open house for sale by owners. But if it was a divorce like this, I would definitely go to the door because I think that they might be more willing to speak to you and,
Yeah.
appeal to them in a way that's not so much like salesy.
I did a deal. I don't think Tinka's here right now, but Tinka Ellington is a dear friend of mine and a colleague. And we went and had a divorce listing, and she worked with the wife. I worked with the husband. We really wish we didn't get the deal because they were just so bloody crazy. I mean, they really mistreated their child terribly. They needed to get divorced. They needed to not be like functioning humans. They were just both horrible people. But I found that to be a pretty interesting approach that you actually go in with more than one person. It's something that, especially when you're dealing with gender issues where there might be, she's had a horrible husband, or he was too domineering, or there's abuse, or there was cheating, or whatever there might be. Daniela Pagani. Daniela, can you unmute yourself? You with me, Daniela?
Yeah.
Okay, there.
Can you hear me?
I can now. First of all, hi. Tell everyone who you are and where you are.
I'm so Daniela Pagani. I'm in Chicago and also run a team in Miami. So
Great.
both locations.
Terrific. Well, welcome. I'm glad to have you. What about targeting online with specific messaging? What do you mean by that?
Well, I just mean sensitive messaging. And by the way, I'm going through a divorce, so this topic kind of caught my attention. I've actually also reached out to divorce attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
And some have invited me to join their podcast and have conversations with them. It hasn't led to a divorce listing. But I mean, I just throwing it out there in case somebody has. I'm happy to share the letters that I write for divorce attorneys.
I would love that. Actually, we have a repository both on the Facebook group and the soon to launch Rain Nation website, which I'll be sharing with those of you who want to stick around and see it. If you could just,
I'll email those to you, Edmund.
yeah, actually, and also Daniel at Bogen Homes. Daniel just wanted
Okay.
Daniel, wave your hands wildly like that. Okay, that's Daniel. He's always there. He's a great guy, works his butt off, and really keeps us running great. So if you could send that in there, he put his thing. If anybody has any questions about the group, that really should go to him. But that's good. So divorce attorneys are one. What other vendors might have access to these folks?
Mediators.
Okay, good. And
family therapists.
okay, but there's some privacy issues with all these people, right? I hope.
Well, yeah, most definitely. There's privacy issues.
Yeah. So
Um,
maybe.
I'm just saying, there's an in, right? It gives you it puts you it puts you front and center. You establish a relationship with these people, and it might eventually lead to a referral.
Sure. Sure. Well, so look, all these things and everything I'm doing within this meeting is to try and come up with various ways of getting business. I gave you the mechanics of it in the beginning. It was surprisingly short. It just took a couple of minutes. I mean, it's the county correct records. Lots of
Right. And
out there. Go ahead.
like the reason I suggested targeting messaging online, once you get the email addresses from the person from Fiverr, you can upload those to a site similar to AdWords or something like that, and just create sensitive messaging. I start getting, I'm nobody I don't know how I mean, obviously somebody's reading emails or whatever, but I'm spammed. If I scroll through Instagram, the number of ads about divorce that I see is astronomical.
Sure. Well, because you've done some.
So, I mean, I sought out a divorce attorney that came to me as a recommendation, but I don't necessarily search for divorce terms. Well, maybe I searched for divorce attorneys in Chicago because I was targeting family attorneys for my business.
Okay.
So, that's what led me to suggest, sensitive ads related to real estate.
Mhm.
They'll just pop up on these people, and you have email addresses. If you have email addresses, they'll be directly, they will receive them, and then you'll just get a call.
Sure.
I mean, it's not as direct as calling someone.
Wait, okay, and when we'll talk about that again, the more direct look, what Paula does is scary to most of us. Knocking on doors intimidating for most. Paula is of a different breed. I mean, she's able to do that. Most of us don't want to do that. I will say, for those of us who get that bold, like Paula, you'll reap the benefits. But it doesn't mean it's the only thing you need to do. And I want to stress that as well. If somebody here hates cold calling, if a coaching client says that to me, I would never tell them cold call. I mean, it's like being on a diet, eating food that you don't like. A shake for breakfast, a shake for lunch, and then a sensible meal. Anybody remember those
Sure.
commercials? What's a sensible meal at that? A side of a cow? You just can't. So you've got to come up with a methodology that works for you. This is just one of many different ways to reach out there. Sensitive ads, that's definitely something that could be a possibility. What else? Who else aside from Danielle and Paula have some ideas?
Well, and I would also say combine it with other things, a sensitive ad, then a letter and a postcard, and then you're seen on multiple platforms.
Sure. And that's always great as well. And we talk about that when we're farming to try and go after people in multiple ways. All these things are great stuff. But what other platforms, guys? What are the Mark Lawrence? You're not getting out of this easily. I'm gonna pick on you a little bit. So Mark, you want to unmute yourself, tell everyone who you are and where you are?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Lawrence. I'm on Long Island right now, and I'm not active as an agent, so I'm probably a little different than everybody else. I've been active in the title insurance space for the past 17 years, but I was an active agent in the early 2000s.
Cool.
So what are we missing in this?
No, but well, in the title world is all that. What the reason I love A, we're good friends. B, you always have insights into this. What are you seeing the agents do? What are some of the methodologies that they're doing to reach out to cases where there's disputing owners?
I don't know if I've seen anything specifically, with respect to divorce. Obviously, being in the title world, we're akin, or we're directly related to property records and, records of the different counties and cities, states. So, I'm kind of sitting in I guess, a catbird seat where I have access to that information. Although, in a lot of places now, the public databases are really good, as Ed just demonstrated at the beginning. So it's not just us who have access to that information. We could drill down potentially, deeper, as far as records and kind of cross, look at different records. Obviously I can get copies of deeds, mortgages, stuff like that. A lot of you can on the public records.
Okay, well, one of the things that I wanted to suggest, how many people in here on LinkedIn and use it from time to time? Anyone on LinkedIn? Nobody? Okay, a couple of you. Heather raised her hand. She's on LinkedIn. Cool. What I want to know from all of you is, have you ever tried this? Have you ever gotten the name and information of someone and then cross-reference them on things like LinkedIn and social media? Now, I'm giving you the keys to the castle, guys. This is the easiest thing that you could actually do. You get a name, Mark Lawrence. He's here, so I can use Mark as an example. Now we know, for whatever reason, either divorce or otherwise, the guy wants to sell. Are you already connected to that person somehow? Because if you are, then it becomes another bridge that you're able to build to reach Mark. If you see that Mark's getting divorced and you're connected to Mark through Lauren or through Mickey or through somebody that's in this meeting here, you may have an opportunity to be able to call them. Again, I just throw this out to try and expand the possibilities of being able to reach these folks, to be able to get out and go and get them. And that's really like the exciting stuff, because you're going to really be able to build business with people that you might not have met. Not just the people who are getting divorced, but people in any type of walk of life, in any type of situation that they might be in. It could be anyone that's moving, or it could be just absolutely anything. So I really highly suggest that you guys try that. What else? What are the ways that we actually reaching out to folks? Come on, guys. I really want to get this going.
I could pick up from you, Ed. Actually, LinkedIn, you raised a great point with LinkedIn. As compared to the other social media platforms, LinkedIn does show you second and third level degrees, and I learned a lot of this from Ed years ago when he had a consulting firm called 6 Degree, I think it was called. And so even if
it was first degree. Thank you. It was first degree.
Was it first degree? I thought it was called 6th degree. Maybe that was Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I think so. People mistake me for him all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can connect to people, they say that everybody's connected to somebody, by 6 degrees or less. And certainly LinkedIn, as Ed just brought up, is a place that, you can demonstrate that on, because the number of people you'll have in your your first degree that you're directly connected to will multiply exorbitantly when you look at the 2nd degree, and even more, so on the 3rd degree. So, if there's, and obviously you'd rather get in with a warm link. So, use those clues to get from A to B to C. If C is where you want to go, maybe B is the key to get there. And, that was, that's a good point that it brings up about LinkedIn and showing the degrees and the exponential, amount of connections you may have.
Sure. Finding the best way in is really the trick. When I show just how easy it is to actually find the leads, to build that bridge and to be able to come with it, I'm curious to see what some of you would say. You're overhearing someone in an elevator. You hear they're getting divorced. You hear they want to sell, whatever reason. Do you approach that person? Eddie Glantz, I know you approach people. I know that you're going to break into a conversation. Eddie, come on, bring it home for me, Foghorn Leghorn. I love your voice. Come on, let's do that.
Yeah, very fun. You're the only one that's ever told me that, by the way, but it's fun.
You sound just like Foghorn Leghorn, if anyone watched cartoons.
My thought would be, yeah, do I break into conversations? Absolutely. Will I break into a divorce conversation? Maybe. But to me, it's more about networking with the divorce attorneys, because they're the ones that's going to oftentimes are the ones that recommend an agent to use, because the wife doesn't want to use the husband's agent and vice versa. And so, because everybody's thinking that, an agent that may know one of the two parties has a bias toward that party, and nobody wants that. So my thought is to go after the attorneys and see what value we can bring to them.
Okay, good news. Listen, there's a certain degree of help that you're going to get from that. Here's something else. Another realtor told me this, and they swear by it. Painting stores, where you actually get paint. I was scratching my head at first. What do you mean exactly? And they said that it was that they had used if you ask anyone who works in a paint store, about 25% of the people that go and buy the paint claim that they're preparing their home for sale. I find that really quite remarkable. Paula, you're about to chime in? No, you're muted. Okay.
I think that's an unbelievable strategy.
Yeah.
It's great. One of the things I've used that results in listings is tag sales, just to stop in and, have a conversation and see what they're doing also. But I never thought of a paint store. That's clever.
Again, I'm not asking you to pimp yourself out in a paint store. What I am saying is that
yes, I have spoken to people. I was coming out of a bank a couple of years ago and somebody was talking about selling. I mean, you can tell by my personality. I spoke to them and started, speaking to them about real estate. So
it's good. Look, we've gone into all of this. I've got a blog post up now about the value of having a dog.
Yeah.
The value of being able to actually meet and interact. Most of you have become secret agents in many cases, and that's not good. You need to not be a secret agent. You need to actually be known and seen and out there. Mark Lawrence, go ahead.
Of course, very akin only to New York City or places that have buildings is the doormen. The doormen always know what's going on. They'll know about divorces before there is a divorce because they'll know who's visiting. Doormen are good. I would say if you're so inclined, go get a manicure and start going local. The manicurists tend to hear what's going on too. Befriend your local manicurist.
Yeah, see, that's why I lost chicks to guys like Mark. He was always getting a manicure.
And
I was biting my nails, and this guy was just sitting there. Oh yeah, girls, wow, that's just great. Yeah, that's good fun. Okay, so all of you are running out for manicures later today, and talking to doormen and knocking on doors. Terry, yes, in fact, your hands are, I've always said, very, very strong yet sensitive. That's good, Terry. So, any
Okay,
divorce?
so
Go ahead.
today I'm going to go to my local patisserie and I'm going to buy coffee for everyone there from 2 to 3 today because it's a sunshiny day and everyone's going to be out. And I get lots of neighborhood folks that way. Whether it leads to a sale or not, at least they know that I'm there.
And you've been doing this for how long?
Years. Years. Yeah.
All of you have your ways. But the question that I have for all of you is, what buckets of business do you have? You are, as a salesperson, you need at least 3. I'll give you mine. You, realtors from out of state. Fantastic. You know people moving to Florida? I want to meet them. I got a great team. We're all starving. We all want business. You meet somebody else in the meeting that you think is even better, give it to them. Knock yourself out. Just keep it within the network. I love it. Other realtors from out of your area. That's very big. 2, people that I've already done business with. Well, duh, of course, that's going to be something that you're able to market with. People and sphere of influence, absolutely huge. And 3, probably the biggest, my farm. My farm area is my 3 things. Now, some people will say door knocking. Some people will say all these other things. But if I concentrate on those buckets, we're able to actually build a marketing campaign around each. If someone on my team wants to take on the divorce stuff, and I highly suggest, because I know a few of you are on, I highly suggest somebody actually adopt that methodology and give it a shot. We could then build a bridge around how you're going to get in touch with those people. How many of you went to the website ChatGPT and Real Estate Mastermind? Could I see a show of hands of who of you have been to that? 1, 2, 3. The on Facebook, the Facebook group ChatGPT and Real Estate Mastermind. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a bunch of you. Okay, many of you I've met that way. That was by design. The site itself was actually, the Facebook page was actually made so that I could provide content that you're actually going to want to see, and then build that bridge again into being able to meet you. Use that as a method for meeting anybody that you want within whatever community it might be, whether it be divorce, bereavement. I think I've told that in previous meetings that we've got somebody who I know who created a Facebook group. She's in her 80s. She lost her husband, created a bereavement group, and has over 100,000 members in that group. You know, she doesn't know how to turn her printer on. I know that because I went over to her house to help her out. You know, she's a neighbor of mine. But she started this Facebook group. Now, she's not trying to make money or do anything out of it. But when you build the bridge and go step by step, most people just stop at step one. They need to go beyond that. Mark, go ahead quickly.
You got me going now. So there is actually a designation, CDRE. It's called Certified Divorce Real Estate Professional. I just quickly, I knew I had heard about it, so I just quickly punched it up. So that might be something to look in. I don't know much about it, but certainly that might be something, you know, designation that you could throw out there when talking to people. Hey, listen, I have, you know, certification as a divorce real estate expert. There's a certification for just about anything if you search for it out there. So here's, you know, something that you could add, you know, that will show a level of expertise.
Big stuff. Really, really good. And what was Heather, you were chiming in here. I heard about, you want to speak, Heather?
Yeah, I looked into it, I don't know, last year, and found it interesting, but haven't done it yet.
What, the certification?
Certification, yeah.
Yeah, there is a training program, and you have to pass an exam. That's what it quickly says in my chat GPT lookup.
Well, ChatGPT said it. It must be true. We got to go with it.
There is.
Gospel.
So, but before we get to wants, needs, and brags, I want to share a little something to you. Eitan, feel free to chime in here. This is the Rain Nation website. Ta-da! It's not really ready for prime time yet. It's just a, you know, we're looking to you to help us find the flaws, of which there are many, but it is getting better and better each and every single day. And you'll see that there is a member area for subscribed members, which gets you access to the directory. All these meetings are going to be posted in here. There's a community hub where we have further conversations, and it's very much like a Facebook type of feed that's coming into it. There's going to definitely be problems with it. The thing that I'm asking all of you, you know, in the next 2 weeks, we really want to make this as strong as we possibly can. So if you could take some time to review it, and for subscribed members, if you just go ahead and let us know that you're interested, we will make sure that you have your subscription up. For those of you who are not subscribed members, we've got a 7-day free trial, which I would love for you to actually put in here and be able to take a look at it. Again, REIGNATION. It's right there, and it's above me when I turn this off. Please, please, please go to rainnation.com and explore it, sign up for it, really get to see. We also have a great blog that we're putting together here, and we're really adding more and more services to it. So please do check it out. It would be I'd be keen to see what you have to say about it. And indeed, it's a big thing. And Daniel, you're always right there. You put that out to everyone. So thank you so much. Who else? Anyone else on this topic before we get to wants, needs, and brags? Tough crowd today. What do you think, Eitan? It's a tough crowd, right? Oh, Terry's excited.
That's a great.
Well, I will say that in the past, I have tried to court divorce attorneys, and every single one of them said, I am deluged with real estate agents trying to be my best friend. So find your unique way to court these people, because, well, everybody wants to be the divorce attorney's best friend.
Yes, indeed. Everyone does want to become the attorney's best friend. And that is, that's, again, another topic and another thing to know about. It's not, you know, there's somebody who's in the meeting. She's not here today, unfortunately. We have this as a download if anybody wants it. It's expired listings. I think she kind of really massaged this methodology. Expired listings that have expired in the last 6 months and has not relisted. She created a letter that it looks so spammy to me, you know, because before you download it and take a look at it from us, you're going to say, God, this is a piece of shit. I mean, this looks awful. but it's going to look so unbelievably spammy to me. But what she does is very interesting. She takes this and it's printed up saying, oh, I know that your listing expired. I have buyers looking, the same type of nonsense that you hear brokers say. I mean, I was very skeptical about this whole thing. And she said, you're going to take this and you're going to go get an oversized yellow or orange or red envelope. And it's going to look like a letter from your grandmother, like a birthday card from your grandmother. And you're going to fold it up. You're going to handwrite the address in there. You're going to place the stamp on it. You're going to toss it in the mail. I said, great. How many do you do? She goes, no, I do it whenever I'm free to do it. I'm like, well, what's the return? Like, what do you put in? She goes, it works. I make money. Just go ahead and do it, Ed. I'm like, now I'm a data guy. I want to hear what it is. It's like, well, how do you know that it works? She goes, Ed, I've been doing it for years. If I have 10 or 15 minutes, I just send a bunch of them out and that's all I do. I don't track anything. I don't have the time for it. I'm like, well, how do you know? She goes, Ed, don't do it. I don't give a shit. If you want it, try it. If not, don't do it. Well, lo and behold, we started doing this with some of these things and people do call back. Not only that, but we got 3 listing appointments. We got 1 listing and it took a year to sell the damn thing, but it yielded $2.1 million sale. Now, again, no one on the team is really doing this one methodology again. Why? Because it seems so long. It's got to be stretched out. This woman had the right idea. She said when she has some time, she puts it together. She doesn't want to go through the whole tracking thing. She just knows that it works. There's only so many expireds that are still expired from a year ago. So it's only a couple of letters that she actually sends out whenever she has time. And she says, every year I do a couple of deals that way. So there are different things that you could actually jump into that are great. And I just wanted to throw that out to all of you. Okay, wants, needs, and brags. Now's the time in the meeting for us to talk about what we want, what we need, and what we're going to brag about, and to actually make mentions of some things. Please note, if anybody wants to come along on Friday at noon, and Daniel, please make note of it as well. We've got Rain Nation this Friday at noon, talking about ChatGPT and the latest real estate prompts. This is going to be a bitch and disco time. You know it is. We're going to be able to actually go through what some of the latest prompts are there. I do try and address this at least twice a quarter, and this is one of those times. So if you would like to come on Friday, for those of you who can't make it, all these meetings are archived in the Rain Nation archive for subscribed members to see, and we'd love to be able to talk to you about that. If you're not subscribed, try the 7 days for free. It really would be great. And again, it's on rainnation.com, which Daniel's already put up. Okay, that was my plea for wants, needs, and brags. What are yours? Who's accomplished something in the last week? Who's got a charity that they're involved in? Who's really proud of it? Okay, was that Mickey? He's like a little hand.
It is. That's me.
Want to tell me who you are and where you are, Mickey?
I'm Mickey Brainy. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. It's beautiful here. It'll be in the 70s today and sunny.
Love it.
So I own a website called drmoves.com. It is drmoves.com. We focus on working with healthcare professionals. And in that niche that I have, the medical match date is coming up. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you see, but for those that speak up, you might get a plug.
Hey, match day for 4th year medical students is March 15th, this Friday. And if you have a medical school in your area, the 4th year medical students will be graduating. They will be moving all over the country. And this time of the year, we focus on that niche group of people. This is their first job, first income, their special loans advertise on the program.
So you just got that out there. You're specializing.
And this Friday, March 15th, the 4th year medical students move from their medical school training into their medical residency training. And we focus on that group of 4th year medical students that they relocate around the country. And we try to connect them with doctor loans and with great realtors that work in other medical school communities.
I love that. How many people think that that's absolutely genius? Can I see a show of hands? Maybe. Yeah. Nobody raised their hands for me, Mickey. They all raised their hands for you. So that's pretty brilliant. Did you come up with that?
Well, I'm married to a physician. We got married 2 weeks after he started medical school. So this is
wow.
So somebody
Yeah, I
get
did that too, though. And don't you find most of them are leasing at this point, not buying? They're so much in debt with medical school costs.
The doctor loans don't count against you. I tell them I've been a homeowner since I was 24 years old and I have not rented. You can do the same. I'll teach you how.
Wow, it's
Hmm.
pretty brilliant. And you're how much, what percentage of that business is referrals out? Because not everybody could be moving to South Carolina.
No, not everybody is. So we'll do a lot of referrals this Friday, sending people to medical school communities around the country. So we have about 130 graduates from Medical University of South Carolina, which is where I am. And the other schools are pretty similar, probably 100 to 200 candidates moving out, and then about 100 to 200 moving into your area.
Wow. It's pretty remarkable. And you know what? Thank you so much for bringing that up. And I say to everyone, there's always at least one thing in each one of these meetings where somebody just shocks the hell out of me. Mickey, you just shocked the hell out of me. And that's a good thing. There's something that people bring in, just a little golden nugget. For some of you, it might have been the paint store, which is great. For me, it really was that. And I really
love the paint store too. I'm taking that one too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, could I let you in on the one we did last week, which again, Evel Knievel won't make the leap, but I will. But the young people, Evel Knievel was a famous stuntman years ago. The concierge at a hotel, and people have heard me say this before. The concierge at any hotel literally has people coming to them with maps saying, where would I buy a house? Or, they are really seeking that. These are people in the know. So you got the divorce attorneys, you got the paint stores, you've got the in your case, the medical. Finding a technical reason to get the business is a great place to start. So I just throw that out to you. Heather, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, you put your hand up. No worries, no worries. Okay, who else? What other wants, needs, and brags do we have aside from Mickey? And I think Mickey, you're going to get a lot of friends here. Who else? It doesn't have to be as exciting. It could be that you just got a deal. Could be that your kid just graduated high school or is about to. Could be that you're involved in a charity and you want to raise a lot of money for somebody. It could be something. Avez-vous compris? Anyone speak English? Hello? I'm drowning here. Help me. Ah! Okay. I'm going through a shyness routine. How do you start a conversation with a divorce attorney? Is that who asked that? Was that Rosina? Rosanna? Doesn't want to unmute?
Yes, sorry,
Okay.
my buttons weren't working. Yes.
Okay.
So that's the question. I think somebody earlier said, how do you start the conversation? I think it was for Paula. How do you start the conversation when they first open the door? Well, same question I would have for you or anyone else who's dealt with a divorce attorney. How do you start the conversation when you finally get them on the phone or writing a letter? What's the pitch? I'm the best mortgage loan officer in the country. Or, I mean, what do you tell them? Why would they go with you?
Well, again, who is that, just to the general crowd or was that to anyone in particular?
Well, you or anyone else, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you really need to think on your feet, and we could do a whole Rain Nation on that as well. When you actually have a reason for getting together with someone, the first thing I like to think of is what's in it for them, not what's in it for me. If divorce attorneys are used to being approached by realtors, then we've got to find some reason or some way to make yourself a little bit more valuable to them. I call it the hot chick in the bar syndrome. The hot chick in the bar gets hit on by all the horrible drunk guys, right? When really she's just looking for a nice, maybe even a nerdy guy. Maybe that's just my wishful thinking. But that's the thing that you don't want the hot chick in the bar syndrome. You want to be able to actually have a reason for getting together with them. So one thing is to be a source of referrals. So if you have friends that are actually getting divorced, people do oftentimes like to reciprocate in kind. At least that's the first thing that I would think of. The next thing I would actually think of is, coming up with, a lot of you came here today because of the content that we are providing here, that you really wanted to see this content. If you could provide some type of content that would matter to them, I think that's a great place to start. I've been a content-based marketer my whole life. So I'm very, very clear about all this. I want to grow real estate. I want to grow my business, but my other business is Rain Nation. And I want you guys to subscribe. And I made it free for you to do it, to give it a try and see it. So, I'm not mincing words here. It's not a symptom of a disease to make a living. A lot of you end up acting that way. It's really not a bad thing. If in fact you're really genuine and you're doing a great job, why shouldn't you try? So that's really having a conversation with yourself before anything else. Who else? Anybody have any other ideas? And Paula, bring it up. Oh, Paula's got her yellow envelope. Isn't Paula ahead of herself?
I buy these colored envelopes, and they're oversized and I handwrite them. I have a little return address sticker. You don't even need to do that. If you just put your return address and not your name, RE/MAX team. So in the envelope, I'll put those 2 documents that I mentioned to you, which are the reasons to list with me, or maybe a little brochure. But the letter says, hey, this is tweaked for either expired listings or for sale by owners. And front and back, I borrowed this from someone else I know, and I can send it to you. So I will, if you look at the expired listings, you look, if you have pictures, whether they're living there or not. If no one is living there, I try to find the actual mailing address instead of the property address and see if it doesn't, bounce back to me. But I will also follow up in person. So this is the first step. The second step is following up with in person, always bringing something of value with me. And what do I send it to? Daniel@bogenhomes.com?
Daniel@bogenhomes.com, and it's Bogen homes.com. And Daniel's the true ghost behind or wizard behind the curtain. He's got his hands on everything. It's not me, it's him. So okay, anyone, thank you for that. Again, we could go on with this for quite a bit. Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a little bit of a break for our Californians. We're going to be talking about ChatGPT and real estate prompts, all the latest prompts and the latest tools. This is moving so fast. If any of you have new tools, like Mickey just brought up something that we never even considered with these whole doctors. If you've got things that you want me to consider, get it to me now. Or even better yet, get it to Daniel. We meet all the time and we develop our topics based on what you want. We are an affordable alternative to coaching. That's really what Rain Nation is about. I really sincerely hope that all of you will continue to chat about all of this. And that said, now's that special time in the meeting that all of you could really get excited about. Terry, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, we just love this. When I look at Terry, it makes me want to say, it sure was good seeing all of you today. I really enjoyed having you, and I look forward to seeing you at Friday at noon for the next exciting episode of
Rain Nation.
Mazel tov. We love it. That's Terry.
Guys.
I don't know how that started, but it started a long time ago. And if any of you want to stick around at this point, I will be showing some of the features of the website with Eitan here. Eitan, incidentally, is one of my dearest friends for nearing 40 years, 35 years. So it's a long time. And we both look it. But he's been working with us on the website. Eitan, can you help me guide through what some of these things are? Can we just have a conversation? Again, the meeting's over. If anybody wants to stick around and see the site, I'd love to be able to show it to you. Eitan?
Yeah, so you want me to drive, really?
No, well, I don't want you to drive, but you could kind of direct it. We could actually just have a conversation about it. And about what?
Let's look directly on the members area to see what we can offer to subscribe members.
Okay. Well, first of all, you could close more deals. Ooh.
We have a community hub. If you click on the access, it basically allows to have go to the feed.
Okay.
And you're able to have a Facebook group, but it's a lot more intimate and a lot more direct. And it is comprised of circles.
Okay,
So
let's take a look. Select a circle. Let me make it bigger.
Referrals, networking, wants, needs, and brags.
And post your listing.
You could post your listings for other realtors to see. And of course, we will develop more circles as we see fit, as we would use this. This is a well-known community platform called Kajabi, and it's a proven success formula. If we scroll down
here
to the other side, let's look beyond the circles. What's available on the right, on the left side? Yeah, right there. No. Just scroll there. Yeah. So here you could see how many posts are in each circle.
And I want to stress, there's no posts because it's not launched yet, and we're waiting on you to post. We're waiting on all of you to be a part of it.
Now, if you go to the challenges.
Great, let's take a look at that.
So we'll be able to provide the challenges to the community, and if you are able to complete the challenges, you will get prizes and rewards. And Ed, you know what type of challenges we can put there, like meditation challenges, affirmation challenges, and
cold calling challenges, sales
challenges.
I mean, again, it's open source networking. That's really what, or open source coaching, which is what it is. Tell us about the meetups.
So also there's an easy way to find the meeting link, and any available meetings that will happen during the week will be posted here. So easy way to log into the community hub and then find the Zoom meeting that you want to attend. We also have resources. In the resources, you have the WhatsApp group, you have the Facebook group, we have a file cabinet.
Anything in the cabinet yet? Not yet.
Yeah, go on custom cat, click on it.
Okay.
This will take you to the files we have on the Facebook group, which hopefully will transfer soon to,
so for the short run, it's going back to the Rain Nation Facebook page, which is a private page. And here we've got a ChatGPT cheat sheet and an absentee letter. And I see they've got some Tom Ferry stuff. We don't want that on our private site for intellectual property reasons, but I've got other stuff, a team member agreement. So if anybody wants to get agreements, various scripts are on here, a business plan worksheet, closing checklists, marketing calendar, all kinds of stuff. And as you get that stuff as well that you want to share, we're able to share that as well.
And I think if you go back to library on the top left.
Hold on. Back to library. Yep.
And if we can show, if you could scroll down and we could show the video archive, that's really helpful.
Yep.
So
and we're uploading videos.
Are basically indexed, and there is a transcript of each meeting.
Yep.
And if you missed any meeting, you could find them here. If you want to refer back to the meetings, and you can view them and read the transcripts on this area.
Great.
So all the time, I remember a meeting 6 months ago that was talking about something that now I want to implement. I can go back here and find the subject.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Eitan, thank you for that. That's just scratching the surface, guys. We're doing more and more with it. Please, please, please. I know everyone has to get to work. RainNation.com. If you're not a member of it, sign up for the 7-day free trial. If you want to just give us your information and you are a member, please do, and we will add you to it. We do have an onboarding time. This is not going to be perfect for the next couple of weeks, probably at least a month, but it's getting better and better and better, and we're adding more and more stuff.
So this week, we will add all the existing members to our new website, and we will send you an email where you could enter and set your password, and then you will start using the new website as a member.
Yeah, very good. Any questions? Again, this was a lot to unpack. Deneen, what do you think? Deneen Kearns.
Yeah, it looks good. I went on earlier looking for how to log into the meeting because I couldn't get in, but looks great.
Somebody created our meeting twice in Zoom. I don't know exactly what happened with that.
I couldn't even find one login, and then I found it on my phone. So
okay, we definitely need that kind of feedback, and Eitan and I are recreating, mostly Eitan, recreating the negative experiences that people have so that we can learn how to overcome them for future stuff. But
You guys are doing a great job.
that's
You
so
are.
sweet. And I'm back in California in a couple weeks. I hope we could get together that time.
Yeah, let me know when. Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Paula, love to have you back. I hope you enjoyed today's meeting.
Yes, I did. Thank you. It's very informative.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Thanks so much. Eitan, I'm going to give you a buzz and look forward to seeing you next time on Rain Nation. Bye.
All right. Take care. Bye.